Hi, I'm George Mariner Mole, Artistic Director of the Discovery Orchestra, and welcome to Notes from Under the Piano, stories from my life as a musician, conductor, and teacher. It all began when, as a child, I liked to recline under our grand piano as my mother practiced, and the rest, as they say. Lead sponsors for Notes from Under the Piano are Judy Musicant and Hugh Clark, and the Kozlowski Family Foundation. Major sponsors are David and Ellen Williams. Today's episode, The Opening Chord, or How I Became Me. When people talk or write about music, they often use very descriptive statements such as, "The melody was so magnificent, it's as though one is standing on top of a mountain, looking out over a vast river valley below." And we may perhaps get from this a sense of how a specific moment in music feels to that person. But since childhood, I've been obsessed with a very basic question. Why do some people listen and others don't? Why do some individuals give music their undivided attention as opposed to just hearing it while thinking or doing other things? My first awareness of this issue occurred when I was 9. I attended a private school for boys modeled after the cathedral choir schools of England. St. Peter's Choir School in Philadelphia no longer exists. The school has since become an independent, coeducational private day school, and a flourishing one at that. But in 1957, there were just 45 boys, grades 4 through 9. Both the musical and academic educations were demanding and wonderful. Mandatory Latin, French, piano lessons and sight singing class, public speaking class, and religious education class in the ways of the Episcopal Church. All these subjects, in addition to English, math, science, and history. All of us were also under the watchful eye of the headmaster and choirmaster, Harold Wells Gilbert, a strict disciplinarian whom we both feared and revered. Every day, we had a choral rehearsal after school for 45 minutes, 2 rehearsals on Friday and 2 on Sunday, one before each of the 2 services we sang every Sunday, September through early June. It was during these church services that I first noticed it. We'd be singing some incredibly moving music by Bach or Palestrina or Rachmaninoff. And during those measures of music when I was not singing but counting rests, my eyes would furtively scan the congregation. The rector of the parish looked bored out of his mind. Some members of the congregation were busy reading the church bulletin. Some were even asleep. I do remember that no one ever talked during Episcopal church services in those days. But there were some parishioners who were hanging on every note we sang with rapt attention. Who were those people? Why were they listening to the music? An amazingly rewarding behavior I had discovered even earlier in my life. I didn't know it at the time, but my life's work and destiny were being formed and shaped.